In a fast-evolving world, the circle of life, birth, growth, and finally death is also applied for businesses. Over the years, the way that we humans have been shopping has changed drastically. We are no longer living in the days where we would spend hours behind a trolley with a long list of items. Today, shopping has been replaced by applications and websites that can be used to place orders and make payments for items that within only a few days are delivered to you. Picking out a movie has evolved from scouring through stacks and rows of shelves at the movie shop to scrolling through an app right from the comfort of your couch. For any business to prolong its growth period, change is the constant factor that needs to be executed to prevent its death. Companies, firms, and businesses that keep up with the rapidly changing trends are able to retain the customers. However, the opposite is also true. There are several businesses that once were big and at the end disappeared from the face of the earth. In today's video, we'll take a look at some of the world's market-leading brands that went out of business. What led to the fall of these businesses? How big were they? What was the cause of their bankruptcy? Without further ado, let's get into the video. Kodak. They say an image is worth 1,000 words. People often record or take pictures during both happy and sad moments in their lives. This way, they are able to remember that moment later on. Today, we can take pictures without a problem thanks to the powerful phone cameras and digital cameras. That was not the case a few decades ago without the technology we have today. Going back in time, Kodak was a dominating company in the camera and film industry. Established in 1888, the company was popular for its low-priced cameras as well as the films that these cameras used. The main mission of the company was to make photography more accessible and affordable to the masses. This made the company earn a lot of money for its operations. As technology advanced, Kodak never saw the digital cameras as a new opportunity. But as digital cameras from other brands became more and more popular, the demand for Kodak products decreased significantly. This led at the end to the brand running into financial constraints since their sales were no longer the same. Despite the research team from Kodak being able to make digital cameras in the 1970s, the company never seized the opportunity when digital cameras hit the market. Perhaps the company never wanted to cut into the brand's lucrative sales in order to use that money and invest in that new technology. Kodak finally went bankrupt in 2012 as economic hardships continued to persist before reorganizing in 2013. The brand even sold some of its businesses and concentrated the remaining ones on printing, graphics, and professional business services. Blockbuster. Living in the 90s meant going to a shop, renting a movie in order to watch it. Blockbuster was one of the dominating brands in this industry, with its first ever store being opened in 1985. The company quickly became everyone's favorite movie rental store. Starting with only 8,000 tapes, the brand quickly grew its roots into the market. Within no time, the brand was the largest in the world. As the biggest in-house entertainment company in the world, Blockbuster got comfortable and failed to keep up with businesses after failing to seize the new trends. This was after the digital video came into the picture with the rise of other brands like Netflix, which quickly took masses from Blockbuster. According to the New York Times, the brand completely shut its operations in 2013 after it was acquisitioned by Dish. RadioShack. RadioShack opened its first store in 1921. Selling loudspeakers, mobile phones, satellite TVs, batteries, and electronic toys to the masses. It was the first retail store on the market to sell fully assembled PCs. The brand gained popularity as well as dominance until the launch of the internet, which gave birth to today's giants, such as Best Buy, Amazon, and eBay. RadioShack faced major competition from these online stores that offered the same services but with more convenience. This led to the brand filing bankruptcy in 2015 and later on being acquired by Sprint. Unfortunately, the brand suffered its next crisis under the ownership of Sprint, and it filed bankruptcy again in 2017. RadioShack never gave up and finally secured a partnership with Hobby Lobby. Compaq. Compaq, although having a long-standing reputation for product quality, dependability, and affordability, was rather short-lived in comparison to the other companies on the list. The firm was only in operation from 1982 until 2002. Despite the brief 20-year time frame, plenty transpired and the corporation earned enormous fame in the IT industry. During the 1990s, it was the world's largest computer manufacturer. HP purchased the brand in 2002, and it continued to run under the Compaq moniker until 2013 when it was phased out. Oldsmobile is the dream of every business to last for a century or even longer. For Oldsmobile, this was not just a pipe dream but a reality that came true since the brand came to a rest when it was 106 years old, making it one of the oldest American car brands. Founded by Ransom E. Olds in 1897, the company debuted its first automobile in 1901, the Curved Dash Oldsmobile. Since then, Oldsmobile made the American roads have some of the greatest cars. In 1909, the brand was acquired by General Motors and targeted towards the majority of middle-income earning Americans. The brand gained a loyal following and was even in the 80s named America's best-selling car in the 80s. Sadly, it started to wane, and eventually, GM decided to end the production after producing its last car, the Alero. Howard Johnson's Restaurants. You've probably heard of this one, which is known for its orange roof, stable menu, and inexpensive prices. Many families use these eateries as a pit break on their trips in the 20th century. Howard Deering Johnson, the company's founder, began as an ice cream shop in Boston in 1925. The company developed a reputation for itself by providing excellent service to a dedicated client base, and it peaked in the 1970s. There were over 1,000 stores and over 500 moto lodges in Boston at the time. Unfortunately, when the restaurants were sold to Marriott in the 1980s, all of these stores were closed. From the hundreds of stores that were there, just one franchise location remained open until 2017. Polaroid Corporation. As a result of the digital photography era, this is yet another brand that failed innovation. Before digital photography, the company was known for its cameras that would give instant photographs. The company was so huge that it even made it to America's Nifty 50 as one of the largest cap stock firms in the New York Stock Exchange. With the rise in popularity of digital photography, the brand could not keep up with the change. The company went from being a large cap stock company to bankruptcy in 2001. Borders Group. Online brought a change in all industries. The bookstore business was no exception, and it was affected heavily. Internet availability rendered physical bookstores useless, since books could be bought and read from a computer or a mobile phone. Borders Group of bookstores never followed the trend once the internet era started. While other companies, like its main competitor Barnes & Noble, were cutting down the music and DVD section, Borders advanced with its normal routine, which led to it being hit by financial challenges since a lot of people had shifted to online movie purchases. The brand, after a long time trying to revive its operations, went bankrupt in 2011. Toys R Us. Toys R Us was founded in 1948, which operated as a baby goods store. The brand evolved to its most famous nature as a first-ever big box toy store back in 1957. The transition saw the brand become a supermarket for toys, one of the biggest of its kind then. The brand became so huge that it boomed for 2 decades. Unfortunately, Toys R Us was beaten at its own game after it was defeated by giant stores custom-made for the masses like Walmart. The rise of online shopping sites further knocked the brand down. According to CNN, the brand finally surrendered and went bankrupt in 2018 after it had all of its stores closed. Pan Am. Pan Am, formerly America's largest international airline, hasn't operated a jet in almost 2 decades. The airline is well known for pioneering computerized reservation systems and jumbo planes in the industry. As of today, there isn't a single airline that doesn't have those, all thanks to Pan Am. After the 1988 Lockerbie incident and the Gulf War that lasted from 1990 to 1991, the corporation suffered severe losses. Since then, the airline has never functioned, and the only place where the emblem can be seen is on t-shirts, handbags, and maybe old movies. We hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and activate notifications for more inspiring videos. Cheers!